You know, a lot of gratitude and appreciation goes out to Amy Adams Strunk for really putting this all together for me and Steve's family. Um, she made it a one goal this week was to make me smile, and she's definitely done that. And I'm so grateful for her for doing this. She didn't have to do it. I certainly wasn't looking forward, looking for it. Um, but she has truly gone out of her way, above and beyond the call of duty, and making me feel welcome, my family feel welcome. Like our careers truly meant something special to this organization. We mean something to this organization. So my hat goes off to her because she's really has put her thumbprint on this organization, and she's doing it in her own unique way. Bud was great, but she's definitely taken it to another level in terms of reaching back and bringing along guys like myself and Steve and acknowledging us and making it feel like more of a family type of atmosphere. So it's been an amazing week, Corey. It really has. I've just been on cloud nine all week long, having a chance to go to every single news station in the state, it feels like, and share stories, talk about Steve. And every time I do it, some little nuance of the past comes back. And it just is wonderful to walk down memory lane and think of my teammates, everyone that has gone into my career, into this. It's about their celebration as well. And I'm just really going to immerse myself in this, soak in it, because it'll come and go. And I'm very appreciative of how the Titans have opened up their arms to me and my family during this week.
What'd you say to the guys?
Uh, you know, I told them basically how I appreciated their comments in terms of recognizing me and that it means something to us, our former players, in terms of their success and what they're doing, because a lot goes into a lot has gone into the Tennessee Titans from the beginning. And I expressed to them that this game that they're playing is a signature game, is a turning of the tides, is the changing of powers. It can be. You know, I go back to when we played in 1999 in Jacksonville, down at their place. We were down, I think, down by 10 points. We found a way to win at the end with Neil O'Donnell, and we wind up taking control of the AFC Central at that time over Jacksonville, who was picked to win the Super Bowl that year, and they didn't beat us at all. And this could be the same thing for the Tennessee Titans. You know, Indianapolis for a long time has been a thorn in their side, has been a hurdle that they have to overcome. And this week, in my opinion, is bigger than a playoff game, is bigger than a Super Bowl, because it's the changing of power. Now they can establish their stamp to say, hey, we're for real. They can now win. They can go out and prove they can win consecutive weeks and be consistent. So, you know, my message to them was take this game personal. There's games where you take as business, but then there are games you take as personal. For me, it was Baltimore. For me, it was Pittsburgh. For me, it was Indianapolis and Jacksonville. It was those games that get your attention because they count twice, but more importantly, is a shift of power.
You've been out here many times before, but what's it like? What kind of memories come back to you when you're out here on the practice field, huddled around players like you did as a player so many times?
You know, man, it's the smell of the grass brings a lot of that back to me. The aroma of the grass, the Bermuda grass, is like, oh man, this is when I miss it. You know, I miss the grind. I miss preparing for a game plan. I used to get excited every single Tuesday, or excuse me, on Wednesday we would come in. I get the game book and I quickly open up to see what new plays we're going to run. And I'm like, oh man, they're bringing in gut, or they're bringing in the power play off tackle. Now I'm like, okay, I can't wait to get out here and execute this stuff and grind with my teammates. And that's what I miss, you know, that camaraderie and just the focus that these guys have right now. I can see that they're paying attention to every detail and they're believing in their culture. They've established that culture. I saw it against Cleveland last week. They're playing together. They're trusting one another. They've established something special. Now can they be consistent with that and take it to another level? And this is the next test for them. This is the most important game for them on so many levels. In front of a home crowd, with the whole hoopla with myself and Steve's jersey getting retired. But they have to lock in and focus and take care of business. And I think they can do that. I really do.
How much responsibility do you feel to Steve's legacy, given that he's not here, and what's it mean to go in or have this honor together with him?
I don't know if it's so much of responsibility. It's my calling. I think responsibility is something that you have to do. My calling is something that I want to do, and I'm aligned to do. It's within my spirit to do. And Steve is always going to be my teammate till the day I die. And anytime that I can talk about his legacy and share with people the type of player he was, the type of man he was, the type of leader that he was, in the physical form, you have to do that because it can change a life. It can spark inspiration. It can ignite somebody to do great things. Just talking to a young man just now, AJ, in terms of what he's experiencing now, what he wants to accomplish. I can go back and draw on some of the experiences I had personally and with Steve to say, hey, you have hope. Calm down. It's week 1. I've been there. Just relax. Trust me. You're going to say, it's week 1. Damn, it's 16. When does it end? So just it's okay. So Steve will always have a place in my heart. And anytime I have a chance to raise him up and to talk about and highlight the great things that he's done in this community, on this team, what he's meant to the NFL, period, I'm going to do just that.
People, as they get older, the word legacy becomes more and more important. Who's going to remember me when I'm gone?
Yeah.
When you know that 27 and 9 will be up there 5, 10, 50 years from now, people will ask and tell stories about those numbers and the people behind them. How important is that to you?
That's important because you want your story to be told correctly. The most important thing is who tells your story when you're gone, and I would hope that I've done enough to have people say great things about me, and it gets better, right? More embellished, and as time goes on, but. It is important. There's inheritance and then there's legacy. Inheritance can be squandered in a day. A legacy lives on forever. A legacy is not something that you can monetize. It's principles. It's integrity. It's wisdom, and it's knowledge. So, that's what I want to be known for. When you see 27, yeah, I played ball, but there was so much more beyond that, and that's what I want people to know is the man behind the mask. And that's important to me, that I try to live my life to the highest integrity possible. I try to operate out of a spirit of excellence.
How special is it that maybe that your youngest son will be able to see how fondly you're remembered all these years later, and the same with Steve's sons? How much you think they'll appreciate seeing their father remembered as he will be Sunday?
I think it'll be very special for them to see that. And that's where I probably would get choked up and cry like a baby, is looking at my sons and wanting to be a positive example in their lives as they pursue their dreams, to show them that all things are possible. First of all, of having a spiritual relationship with God, and truly yielding your will and desire into that vein. And secondly, putting in the hard work that goes into it, the focus, and the adversities, not to shy away from them, but to embrace them, is very important. And the stories behind that for both Steve and I. So when Tyler and Trent come up there, and who's 6'4.5" now, which I can't believe, and Jair and Eric are there, and along with my wife, it's another day that they can celebrate and know that their father is still beloved. He's viewed at a high esteem, and he's still looking down upon them.
Do you see highlights of yourself? Does it feel familiar, or does it feel like, oh my God, who is that guy?
A little bit of both. You know, now that, God, I hadn't played in, 15 years? I looked at Derrick Henry today. I'm like, oh, man, I remember I used to run downfield like 100 yards after every carry. I'm like, I don't want to see that anymore. I can't believe I used to do that. Or when I see a highlight when I ran into like Ray Lewis or Saragusa or got knocked out by the Steelers, a nose tackle. I'm like, man, I used to do that? It was crazy. But as time goes on, you get removed from it. It's like you're watching a completely different person. I was a completely different person back then. And my values were different. My motivations were different. I was young, ambitious, and hungry for more and in terms of being great. So, it's kind of surreal at times, yes.
You're still as big as a lot of these guys. How many yards could a 45-year-old Eddie George rush for in the NFL these days?
If I trained, I'd probably knock out 2 bills in 5 weeks. In 5 weeks. Nah, it's got to, as a running back, you got to run with the spirit. The spirit has to be there. At some point, your will has to take over. And my will is not to run the ball right now. I'd rather watch my son do it, watch Derek do it, and live vicariously through them.
Derrick Henry has said, even though he's his own back, you're the epitome of the type of back he wants to be. How meaningful is it for you to hear words like that?
Well, Derek is a beast. And for him to say that, yeah, I honor that and I embrace it. But, the dude, he's phenomenal. When he's on fire, he's on fire. No one, I have yet to see anybody since he's been in college, high school, college, and professionally, catching from behind. He hits that seam, he's gone. I mean, that's like Chris Johnson type of stuff at 6'5", 240. And now he's learned to run behind his pads. The game is slowed down for him. He's settled in who he is. He's confident in his body. He can see the game a lot better. He can see his blocking a lot better. He's setting things up beautifully. And, he's going to be something. He's going to do some great things. And to see him last week, I was curious to see how he was going to handle, 8-man fronts and not have success early. And he handled it beautifully, and Art Smith, Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, really set him up nice by getting the screen pass and getting him on track, getting him out and open, and then everything opened up from that point on. So it's just a matter with Derek just to be consistent and to impose his will every time he gets the ball.
How much impact do you think that you had, when you talked with Derek last year when he was still?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I know that he's reached out to several people, and I was one of those people. And he called me or texted me late one night. I was watching, one of those, I was been watching some show. Nah, that ain't my thing. That's Ray's thing. And he texted me, and he said he wanted to talk. I said, okay, we'll talk. So I went upstairs, excused myself, my family, we talked. He says, Eddie, I want you to be brutally honest. What do you see? And I was brutally honest. I told him the good points, and I told him the areas that I think that he needed to improve. And basically it was just in between the temples and allowing again himself to be free and run from the spirit, not to think about it. There's a lot of thinking going on and trying to hit the home run instead of allowing the game to come to him. And he played phenomenally at the back half of the season.
Did you notice a change, following that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw a little bit of it. I think they played New England the next week, and I was in the stands. He got a few touches here and there, but he was running different. So I was like, all right, okay, let's see how it goes. And then he just got on fire after that.
You said you've taken a great interest in him. You text him that you support him.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Heisman thing? Is that a former Titans running back thing?
It's a human being thing. It has nothing to do with the affiliation of being the Titans or the Heisman. If a high school kid asks me a question or wants to learn how to be great, which happened yesterday, I'll spend 20 to 15 minutes with him. This is at this phase of my life, that's where I'm at. I serve as a mentor to young men. I try to minister to them, not just athletically, but spiritually, holistically. The same way I talk to my sons, I talk to them. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be a 6-year-old, and I'll figure out a way to communicate with him. in a way that resonates with his spirit. So that's what I've been called to do at this phase of my life. I played the game for a long time. I've experienced some things, both on and off the football field, in the business world, socially speaking. And if I can just reach out to them and to pour into them, while I still have my own mentors, I'm just trying to be a healthy vessel.
Got your hands in a lot of different things always.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any interest in getting back with the team in a small ownership role, a managerial role, a personnel role, ever, anything like that?
Corey, one of my sayings is eliminate the box. I never put myself in a box, ever put myself in a box. So I'm open to whatever I'm called to do. And if that opportunity presented itself and it makes sense for me, my family, and where I'm at in my career and what I'm doing, then yeah, I can definitely see that. I welcome that. But if it doesn't, I'm going to still do what I do. I'm going to still do my acting. I'm going to still teach. I'm going to still do my entrepreneurial ventures and wealth management, be a father, and hopefully get my son off my Uber account. That's extreme, man. He's running it up, man. He went out to Vegas this is another story. He went out to Vegas last week and had a ball. And I saw everything. I said, hey, Jair, what you do over there? He said, I just stayed in the room. Well, the Uber says a $200 ride here. So, I love it. I love being a father. But we'll see, man. But we'll see. We never know what the future holds, so I'm open to it.
Eddie, the first 27 by any team in the NFL to be retired, and it's going to be you and Steve's numbers. How special is that when you think about that?
Oh, wow. Teresa, it's really special. When Amy first told me the news, I was like, okay, damn, okay, that's pretty cool. That's prestigious. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 153 or 70, somewhere in there, jerseys retired in NFL history. And it's extremely rare. It's rarefied air. It's a huge honor to be regarded as such. Again, in the timing of it, what just really completely caught me off guard. And again, I just owe a lot to Amy Adams-Strunk for giving me the platform now in my life to speak, to use this to speak to others, to inspire others, to offer hope and a refreshing of maybe dead dreams. I don't know what that is, but to offer hope to guys that, hey, I can do the same thing too. I can accomplish this too. Because everything wasn't peachy keen in my life. I had to go through some struggles. I had to go through some adversity, and I had to learn about myself. But if you embrace those adversities and you find out who you are and become a man through that, there's glory on the other side of that. And that's the ultimate message. And through football, through this weekend, that's what it's about, is to inspire others that, hey, you can do it too, no matter what field that you're in life. Paul can have an outstanding podcast, with billions and billions of people on it, and he's going to sell it for billions and billions of dollars, and he's going to give me 10% of that. So I want to manage his money one day. So that's kind of where I stand.
You hoping to see an atmosphere at Nissan?
Listen, you know what? I'm praying that the ministers this Sunday wrap up their services early. Right around, 10:30. Let's postpone all, we honor God, we love God, we can bring him to the Titan Stadium. Because I really want to see that stadium full, right at kickoff, loud. I'm challenging the fans, to stand as much as possible during this game, because we're going to need everybody to overcome this hurdle. I think the fans are itching, they're waiting for to really truly believe. I mean, they've been on the cusp. Last year they beat the Eagles, then they lose. So we gotta get the signature win to have them believe, so it can really be on fire like it was when we played. I mean, it was standing room only. It was loud. It was intimidating, and it has to be like that for those guys. And I think they're really close. I really do. I think. Now look at this team. Again, the spirit of this team. They play together. And they trust each other, and that's the difference. And again, if you compromise that in any way, shape, or form, that's when you're done. That's when you're done. So that was really the core of my message to them, is to protect that special unity, because it doesn't happen a lot in this league. And once you got it, you keep it, you hold on to it. And a great example of that is New England.